Hello everyone, and welcome back to Burrows. There was a blood splatter right at the end of the last episode. Is that interesting? I think so. Something digs into my stomach and pushes me off the bed. Before I can even hit the ground, I see his glowing eyes staring down at me in fear. He's standing against the far wall, holding his chest and panting. Fucking hell! Ken, what happened?
Stay right there.
What are you...
You fucker. You knew.
I wince as the pain from his kick starts to register and try to stand up, holding my hands out defensively. Calm down.
Don't fucking try it. Stop trying to get in my head. All those nice words, and to try and rape me.
Whoa, that is not. He starts coughing and holding his throat, looking around frantically.
Christ, did you put something in the water?
What water? Ken, you asked me to hold you.
Shut up. I would never do that. Just shut the fuck up.
He grabs a chair and smashes it on the wall behind him. It splinters into pieces, and he rips off one of the legs. Oh. A bent nail poking out of the end. Ken, stop. Don't. I'm not going to hurt you.
Liar.
His angry expression suddenly cools into a flat, emotionless state. It puts me on edge even more.
You made me say those things, didn't you?
No.
And you used that memory to fool me. Oh, you're a clever one.
He starts slowly walking over to me, tapping the weapon against his thigh. Ken, please.
A dangerous one.
Just as he starts to round the bed, I hear the clamoring of feet outside of the door. Help! Someone slams the door with a heavy shutter, knocking it off its hinges. Harsh daylight floods the room, and I see Jesse, his broad frame casting a shadow across the room. He's got... Okay.
Bad move, son. You too. Was everyone in on this?
Jesse, don't hurt. He nods and swiftly clears the distance between them, grabbing Ken's wrist and squeezing until the weapon falls to the ground.
Fucker.
He rears back with his other hand, shoving a knee into Jesse's crotch. No! Oh, okay. Hey, Martin quickly gets between us. Oh, the Martin. Oh, he's got a little bit of hair. Okay. Gets between them, hanging off of Ken's arm like a toddler.
Gray, get out of here!
It takes a few seconds to register just how far this escalated, and I pick myself up, charging out of the door into the sunlight.
Gray! Let me go!
Don't look back. I scurry out onto the walkway and slam into the railing, nearly sailing over it. Is this a 2-floor one? What? Okay. Seeing the long way down, I regain my balance and push off towards the stairs, running blindly as soon as I hit the grass. Gotta run. Escape. But where? I slow down and catch my breath, collapsing onto a grassy knoll, overlapping the open road. Overlooking. This is so stupid. I'm fully awake now. It feels like early afternoon, though the skies are overcast, so it's hard to tell. The sun shines, definitely, through the cloud, burning my sleep-deprived eyes. I feel a sting on my bicep and examine it to see a small cut, beads of dark blood forming towards the center. It must have been from when he kicked me. One of his toes caught my arm. Feline claws are notoriously sharp. I lick the wound and press on it with my other hand, wincing in pain. Ken! Tears start welling up again. Not because of him this time. I don't know what I'm doing here. With another group of people. People are complicated. Complicated because drama. Drama causes pain. Oh, complications cause drama. Okay. I'm so tired of confusing other pain. The bleeding starts to slow down, and I examine the cut. I furrow my brow, thinking about my attacker. I tried to be as careful as possible. I didn't flirt with him. I didn't take advantage of his vulnerability. I didn't even look him in the eye half the time. Honestly, I don't find him very attractive at all. Liar. Even though, by all accounts, I should. I can't put my finger on why. Maybe it's just his personality. Just like Sam. It's just like Sam, isn't it? Except with him, I hear footsteps, and I turn around to see Colt standing behind me, huffing and puffing. Are you alright, Gray? Yeah, I think so. You're, it's fine. Come, sit. Okay. He brushes his tail off out of the way and plops down next to me. Jesse. He's calming Ken down. He stopped trying to fight us just after you left. He was just kinda staring at the wall. Well, that's good, right? I don't trust him, Gray. I don't think he should stay with us. You don't trust me either, remember? His whiskers twitch and he looks at the ground, flustered. You're different. This life, it's a hard one. You don't meet kind-hearted people very often. You really think I'm kind? You're not unkind. I reach over and pat him on the shoulder. I like this guy. Well, I want to go check on the others. You good out here? I nod. Okay, stay put. He jumps to his feet and jogs back to the motel. Yes. Not so difficult after all. So it seems. I sigh and stretch on the grass, watching the clouds roll by for a while. The sounds of the cars zip by on the occasional gentle breeze, almost lull me back to sleep, but my heart is still beating frantically in my chest. Emotions are complicated. I'm happy I ran into people like Colt and Jesse. I'm sympathetic, yet terrified of Ken. I'm confused about what any of this has to do with the Golden Place. On top of all that, I feel ashamed that I wanted to kill myself. Maybe even more ashamed that I'm still alive after making such a show of it. When I get back home, I know I'm going to get the most lip from Gene. He'd probably say something like, anything to skip out on rent, eh? And it kicked me for a week before Simon could convince him otherwise. Actually, knowing him, I could probably just pull the trump card I've been saving and finally top him. I'm getting ahead of myself. First things first. Let's figure out what to do with Ken.
Gray.
He put on some pants. Oh. I jump up in surprise and shriek, followed by a raspy cough. Ken, what the fuck?
Dude, relax.
Like he has any business asking me to relax. I look past him and see Jesse and Colt watching us from the staircase. Jesse gives me a thumbs up while Colt smiles nervously. What do you want? He looks away for a moment, listening to the birds singing in the trees. It's a pretty song.
I'm sorry for hurting you. I know, that's a dog shit apology, considering.
He sighs and sits next to me, leaning on his kneecaps. He speaks without looking at me.
You know what you did, right?
No, I don't. Ken rolls his eyes and chuckles to himself.
It's whatever. I'm not mad about it anymore.
Okay.
I know, I'm probably being the crazy one here, but whether or not you remember, it hurt me.
I'm sorry. Something I did hurt you.
Don't apologize. It's sort of impressive that you even could. I'm so lost. But in all seriousness, you have to promise me something. Another promise.
What?
I'm not a faggot, alright. Don't act that way around me.
But you... No, whatever. Fine. I'm not a faggot either, for the record. I like women plenty, too.
Neat. Still a fag.
I sigh and get up, taking a minute to stretch while Ken lights up a cigarette. How old are you, anyway?
I'm 21.
Geez, he looks way older than that. Life hasn't been kind to him. I'm 25. That makes me your senior.
Okay, want a cookie, Grandpa?
That's exactly how I expected him to respond. Sheesh, what a brat. These post-war kids really have no manners. Anyway, there's something that's been nagging me since last night.
What?
The conversation we had about weird shit. What kind of experiences have you had? He looks skeptical at first, but his expression becomes pensive. I give him as much time as he needs to collect his thoughts. Okay. The sky starts to shift towards early evening. I'd taken up to making daisy chains and... What's a daisy chain? Never mind. Looking for four-leaf clovers in the grass in the meantime. Jesse and Colt stayed nearby, watching us carefully the whole time. Here, maybe I can probably turn up the volume on this a little bit. So you can enjoy the tunes, right? Colt comes over a few times to sit with me and make small talk. I'm grateful for everyone's patience. I think they want things with Ken to work as much as I do, even if it's only for practicality's sake. Eventually, Ken clears his throat, and I turn to face him eagerly.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I ruled out the stuff. That was just people messing with me. Well, there's a huge gray area with that, but still, here we go.
He takes a deep breath.
So, I had to rip the radio out of my bike. I kept hearing things.
What kind of things?
Like, I kept hearing my name, not just sometimes. I would switch it between stations, but it never stopped. They kept talking directly to me. From Frank Sinatra to the 6 o'clock news.
What did they say?
You know what you did.
A chill goes up my spine. I've heard that phrase in my head many, many times. What could they be talking about?
I don't want to get into that. Not yet. But I have to stay on the move. They're going to get me if I stay in one place too long.
Something is clearly not clicking, though. Okay, anything else?
That's one. That's the main one. Sometimes I see stuff that others don't. I saw it behind you, back during the fight.
I think back to when he was brandishing that broken chair and wonder what his intention might have been, but I don't bring it up. I see. You'll have to tell me next time you see it. We have to be careful. He nods, and not a shred of doubt behind his eyes.
What about you, Gray?
Well, my grandma would talk about magic a lot. Folklore from back in the old country.
Where?
I looked to the side and tried to say it quickly in one breath. Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, to put it simply, she tried to show me the magic in everything, growing up, at least whenever my father wasn't poking around. Sometimes I get the feeling they weren't just fairy tales, especially after what I told you before. There's a power. Sometimes I can feel it running through the grass when I lay on it. I have these dreams of another me in another place. When I'm there, I swear I can see the trees bend to talk to each other like people do. I've parted a river with my staff as if I was Moses himself. And sometimes, the me from the dream stays behind after I wake up.
Do you ever just wake up, already in the middle of doing something, like you don't remember how you got there?
Yes, all the time. It scares the hell out of me. Ken looks at me with a genuine smile. The light of the setting sun catches his golden eyes.
Me too, but we're not alone now. I just hope I don't jinx you.
I may believe in magic, but not dumb stereotypes.
Yeah, right.
I hear heavy footsteps behind us and look up to see Jesse standing over us, a goofy smile on his face. Colt's next to him, holding the rest of Ken and I's clothes.
Well now, so nice to see the two of you getting along.
Yeah, for now. Colt walks out from behind Jesse's back and helps me to my feet, and dusting grass off my pants. Come on, we're gonna get some dinner before we hit the road again. Ken gets up with a groan, snatching his jacket out of the Martin's hands.
Where at?
My stomach growls loudly, and I realize I haven't eaten in almost a day at this point. Yeah, where at? Colt looks disgusted at me, repeating Ken's mannerisms, and clears his throat. There's a diner a few miles up in Shamrock. It'll be our last stop before crossing the border to Oklahoma. I still can't believe there's a whole town named that.
Yeah, almost sounds like a theme park. It's barely on the map, but it's, on Route 44, so it's the closest option without taking a detour.
That works for me. Now let's go. I'm starved. We head back to the bikes and hit the road once again. This time Ken's ride's a little closer, still taking up the rear. A diner's a great choice, especially for a mixed group like this. I would have no idea if Ken's bratty behavior extends to his taste in food, but I want to avoid stressing him out. You're a babysitter now. Congratulations. Tiny signs of life start to dart by us as we approach the outskirts of the town. Okay. Sheds, farm homes, even a few modest dwellings. Eventually, we reach the parking lot for the diner and pull in. Okay. I think I'll... do I want to keep going? I don't know how much left there is to this part. Maybe I'll just go until it ends. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll make this a long one.
Does this place have a drive-thru? This ain't a McDonald's, kid.
What's a McDonald's? Some fast food joint that opened a few years ago. I started seeing them pop up everywhere along the roads.
Tiny little wafer thin burgers. Zero nutrients.
I give Ken a concerned look, and he just shrugs.
What? It's cheap. I'm not exactly employed right now.
Me neither. Oh, fuck. I pull out my wallet and dig through it desperately. It's empty. I look towards Colt and Jean, laughing awkwardly. So...
Just this once. Only 'cause you two are young'uns. Breaks my heart to see kids eating like crap when their bodies are still growing.
Colt rolls his eyes and gently punches my shoulder. I'm 30, and he still says the same thing to me. Don't worry, he's just an old codger.
Guilty as charged. Now come on, let's get some grub.
Are we gonna go in? Are we gonna have a whole Denny's adventure? As we head closer, I could hear the sounds of people coming from inside, in between muffled notes of music. Ken slows his walk, looking around nervously.
Ken? You know I saw these diners that have the girls bring the food to your car on roller skates. But maybe they have something like that. I'd rather just stay out here.
Jesse notices we stopped and scoops us up in his arms, pushing us forward towards the front door.
Nonsense! This is family! In this family, we eat at the table. Family!
He's taking the fatherly role a little too literally, I think. Oh. We crowded by the front and wait to get seated. Curious, I peek over Jesse's shoulder to see what sort of place this was. Huh, this is spiffy. I love how shiny everything is, and the colors are great, too. Things back home seem so drab in comparison. I thought there was live music playing, but instead I see a brightly lit jukebox in the corner. It almost sounds like the blues, but a little more soulless. Like they took the music we sang at church and let the dogs run wild with it. Actually, Edian sang just fine. It was just nothing compared to how Simons interpreted the songs. She felt it with her mind, body, and soul. We get greeted by a waitress, a Cocker Spaniel, who seems to be on the verge of tears at the end of every sentence. Hello, fellas. Table for 4?
Yes. Is everything all right, ma'am?
Of course. Don't be silly. Come this way. She struggles to walk in even sensible heels and leads us to a booth. Score. Colton can immediately dart for the window seats, scooting into the booth at the same time. Okay. How do you all feel about booths? Like, are you the kind of person... maybe I'll turn this down a bit. That looks a bit loud now. I feel so comfortable on the inner part of the booth. Like, if the booth is, against the wall, right? Like, I do not want to be on the interior. I need to be on the out. You know, in case anything happens, I want to be able to leave. I don't want to feel trapped, you know? Like, it's more comfortable that way. It just is. Wait, yeah, okay. Their looks of elation quickly shift as they lock eyes and start growling, disgusted at the possibility of being similar in any way.
Boys!
And Jesse turns to me and nods in their direction.
All right, Gray, your choice.
Right. Well, I want to sit with Ken. I cautiously slide in next to Ken, hearing him suck his teeth when our thighs touch.
I just wanted to sit here so you didn't have to look at me. Oh, you just wanted to sit here so you didn't have to look at me.
What? What? No way. I wanted to make sure you were all right.
Well, that's nice of you. Thanks. You're always nice, huh?
I don't know about always.
Sure thing, Boy Scout.
Maybe you should give it a try. Who knows? It could pay off.
Who, me? That is so not my thing, dude.
Didn't you get to decide what defines you, though?
Doesn't always feel like it.
He looks past Colt's head to a baby staring at us from the next table. Oh, God. Ken clears his throat and smiles wide, or should I say, bares his fangs in a way he thinks is smiling. The bird's eyes glisten with tears.
Shit!
The little dove starts bawling her eyes out. The mother sighs and scoops her up, shaking her head at us while simultaneously shushing and rocking the baby. Ken buries his face into the collar of his jacket, and I try to stifle a giggle.
Fuck you, man.
I'm proud of you for trying.
Anyway, what should I get? It's been a long time since I sat down somewhere to eat.
What's your favorite meat?
Faggot.
Fuck you.
What about you, then? What do you eat?
Probably just a burger. I'm not picky.
A burger doesn't sound half bad. I wonder if they sell any good beer.
Not so loud. Everyone looks at me puzzled.
Pardon?
Isn't this place, I flick my clover pen.
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Wait, aren't you driving after this?
Oh, no worries. I was just gonna buy a few cans and keep them in the truck until we find a place with the fridge.
Cans?
Yeah, if it's not tapped, there's no point. Yeah, if it's not tapped, there's no point.
Aren't you, barely of drinking age? What do you know about good beer? I know I'm good. God, I'm just meth. The things are no longer color-coded.
I know I'm gonna need a couple if I have to be around you lot.
Be nice. Eventually our waitress comes to take our orders, still sniffling after every word. Sorry for the wait, gentlemen. How can I help you? Can we help you? She starts giggling nervously, looking around as if this was some sort of prank. Oh, you kidder. I love a man with a sense of humor. Love? A single jet black tear rolls down her face. Oh, dear. So some powder will keep your mascara from running,
Faggot.
Anyway, I think we're all having burgers. And 1 tuna melt. 3 burgers and a tuna melt. All right. Any drinks besides water? I think we've had enough waterworks for the night.
I'll have a Coke and a few cans of Miller for the road.
She wipes her face, smearing the black line of, the line of black across her cheek. ID, please. Jesse gives her an exasperated look, gesturing to his graying muzzle. Unless you don't want to.
It's fine. Here.
He leans over to give her a tiny plastic card. She carefully examines it before whistling wide-eyed. Yes.
Yes. I'm an old sea dog.
I'll just get a seltzer. I'll have a Coke too.
I'll have a Shirley Temple.
Oh my god, Ken, why do you have the best taste? Ken is just the best. A profound silence falls across the table. We just all stare.
What?
Nothing. It just sounds like a little fruity.
Fuck you guys.
As she walks away, I notice a gopher start staring at me from across the room, sitting at the counter. He's dabbing his sweaty forehead with a cloth and stealing glances, looking away when I give him a confused expression. Weird.
You know that guy, Gray?
Oh, you know that guy, Gray? Sure don't. I've never seen him before in my life. Well, anyway, Suddenly, a tiny ball bounces off Cole's forehead, landing in his cup of water. What? Who did that? I hear a snickering from the table behind us, and turn around to see a group of teenagers in leather jackets. A fox is already preparing another ball when a Dutch hound. That's how that's pronounced. That's how that's pronounced, right? Please, I can't have another mistake like in the shelter playthrough. Just, it's not a Dachshund, right? It's a Dutch hound. Is that how that's pronounced? Dachshund? Gets ready to flick it in our direction.
Fucking kids.
Really? You're going to try it again when I'm looking right at you? It hits him right between the eyes, and he shoots up, knocking the table loudly with a knee. Little shits! They burst into laughter, fist bumping as the fox watches on, smirking proudly. What?
Yeah, it's funny.
Can we change tables?
I don't see any more booths. Just keep your cool and be mature.
He sits back down with a huff, arms crossed. They continue throwing paper at us for a while, but stop when we don't give them any reaction. Soon our food comes and we chow down. Me and Ken finishes our burgers in a matter of seconds.
Oh boy, you fellas were hankering for some grub.
Pardon, I was about to pass out.
It's been a while since I had a good meal. Hey, do you want those fries?
Yes.
Can I?
1. He grins, devilishly, and grabs a fistful of fries, shoving them into his mouth.
Ken?
Honestly, you're as bad as those kids behind us.
Kids?
Yo, Tony, they just called us fucking kids. I whip around to see the fox leaning over the back of our seat, baring his teeth. He must be Tony.
Those are choice words coming from a couple of geezers. I ain't no geezer, twerp.
What did you say?
Ken.
He ignores me and turns to face the fox, tightly gripping a fork.
What do you and your little chumps from nursing school run?
Well, why don't you?
Run along and play hopscotch or something.
Oh-ho. You're gonna regret that, kitty.
Is that a threat, Greaseball?
And Jesse jumps across the table and pulls Ken back while I get in between him and the fox.
Come on now. Let's avoid causing any problems while we're in town.
What am I looking at?
We're guests here, after all.
Listen to Grandpa. Kitty.
Colt, go pay the bill. We're leaving.
Right. 2 steps ahead of you. Come on, guys. He whistles loudly, and his coherent snaps to attention. Oh, his cohorts. That's what that said. Wow. Scrambling for the door, he slaps some bills down onto the counter and gives us a final sneer before walking out. We sigh in relief, Ken merely rolling his eyes at us.
Proud of you, Ken. That took restraint. Yeah. Let's just pay the bill and get out of here.
And Jesse and Colt trot over to the front desk, and I get up too, keeping my eyes on the door as Ken exits after me. Just ignore him if he's still out there. I feel a tap on my shoulder and whip around to see the sweaty gopher from before standing in front of me. With all due respect, sir, what are you doing here? Sir? What are you? And to be seen with ruffians of that nature. His eyes narrow to Colt in Jesse's direction. Julian, what is going on here? I think you have the wrong person, mister. I look over my shoulder and see our waitress making a phone call behind the counter, eyes darting between Ken and I.
Hey, this guy giving you trouble?
I don't think so. His eyes drift off to the waitress and grow wide in panic.
We need to get out of here.
I've already alerted the authorities, Julian. I need you to stay.
Bastard!
The restaurant grows quiet as everyone turns to look at us. They stare, facing judgmentally and twisted. Ken, let's go. Something's wrong with this place. He nods and bolts for the door. I follow suit and grab Colt and Jesse arm in arm. Great, what are you...
Where's the rush, son?
Someone's called the cops on Ken. We have to hit the road. Colt looks nervously at Jesse. He nods and we calmly walk out into the parking lot.
I said get off my bike, motherfuckers!
Uh-oh. I break away from the other two and speed towards the bikers, only to see Ken surrounded by the punks from earlier. With a knife? Yeah, okay. Tony's sitting on top of Ken's bike, brandishing a switchblade. The other two canines have Ken flanked on either side. See what I was gonna let you guys off with a warning, but you kinda pissed me off, Cat. Me and my boys don't take kindly to newbies coming into town and bossing us around, especially not on our own turf.
Get the fuck off my bike!
He laughs, stroking the metal hull affectionately with the blunt side of the knife. I can see Ken flinch every time the blade scrapes against it. I will say, you got good taste, Cat. The bike's a real beauty. It would be a shame if something happened to it.
Do it and die!
The Vulpine starts chuckling, soon followed by the rest of the gang. Ken, what do we...
Shut it! This is my problem!
Ah, is your little boyfriend worried about you? Ain't that sweet? It's a shame that fat ass called the heat on ya, or we could go all out. But I guess old Toiny will have to suffice with just...
Stop!
Doing...
Don't!
This. I cringe at the sound as he drags his knife down the side of the fuel tank, leaving a jagged line of silver on the black paint and scraped away.
You're dead!
Ken, no! I lunge forward to stop him, but feel myself pulled back by strong arms. Jesse, stop! Ken, he's...
I think he'll be alright.
Huh? I peek over his bicep and see Ken throwing one of the canines to the ground with one arm while holding one by the neck with his other. He slams the first dog's head against the pavement and stomps on his chest, knocking the wind out of him. Before he can get both hands on the other one's neck, Tony jumps on the top of him from the bike, flailing his knife wildly. Watch out! Without hesitation, he knocks the dog and Tony's skull together, throwing the fox off of him. The knife falls to the floor, slides under the nearby car. Shit! Ken throws the dog against another car, breaking the window and sending shattered glass everywhere. Tony falls to the ground. His hands he instantly peppered with the tiny glass shards. Oh, okay. He rolls back and onto his back, clutching them in pain as Ken stands over him. Fuck! Ken kicks him in the ribs a few times, the loud thump echoing throughout the empty parking lot.
Son, he's already beaten. That's enough.
Ken ignores them. He sticks his boot underneath Ken and flips him over, his bloody limbs flailing like a dying bug. Pl- please.
It's enough when I say it.
He kicks an arm away and stomps down on it, pinning it to the ground. Ken! Tony tries to scrape at him when he's with his other arm, but that too is pinned down. Ken now standing on them with his entire weight. Gonna break them?
Maybe.
My trance is broken by the sound of sirens getting closer. Ken, stop! We have to go! Ken turns back to look at me. He almost looks disappointed. Shrugging, he turns back to look at Tony, a sniveling, tear-stained face with the fear of God in his eyes. Ken then crouches down, putting even more weight on Tony's wrist. He cried out, writhing and kicking like a child.
You like damaging people's properties, huh? You think that makes you a man? You're nothing.
With a final stomp, I hear a wet crack as the wolf's right wrist is broken. He cries. His cries turn into screams, and I desperately try to break out of Jesse's grasp.
Great, no! We can't get involved!
I just can't sit here and watch this. I turn to look at Colt, who's been quiet this whole time. He's paralyzed, shivering in fear at the entire display. Colt? It broke, just like that. I hear a swip. How does this pronounce? Fwip? Okay, and focus back on Ken. He's pulled a knife of his own out of his jacket.
See, I was gonna just let you off with a warning. But you kinda pissed me off.
What are you? What's happening? Ken?
Jesus. Stop!
Jesse finally releases me and runs over to Ken, pulling him off the kid. Ken doesn't protest, his face cold and emotionless.
Now, you're my property.
I pull myself off the ground and sprint over to see blood all over Tony's heaving body. A crude K has had begun to be carved into it. The wound trails down as Ken was pulled away. He lies on the ground, panting, trying to clutch his chest with his broken wrist. His detached hand sways like a rock sitting in a bag of skin. My stomach lurches, and I lean onto a nearby car, feeling the world start to spin. What the fuck did we just get ourselves into? The sirens are getting louder. We have to go, now! I refocus and see Colt already on his bike, motor revving. Jesse nods and lets go of Ken, running for his bike, a limp towards Ken, who's breathing shakily. Ken, why? He's just a kid. I see him squirm on the ground, clutching his chest and wince.
So was I. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
He pulls me towards his bike, and he throws a leg over, fishing the keys out of his pocket. Are you sure? He rolls his eyes as if this was a casual turn of events.
Yes. Now get the fuck back there. I need you with me.
Okay.
I thought we had an agreement.
This is different.
Who are you? Never mind. Come on.
He helps me up, and I hold onto his hips as he starts back up. The wheels, crunching over the broken glass below us. I take a final look at the mutilated fox. He looks back at me, eyes red, full of tears. I mouth I'm sorry as we speed off into the night. Cool. Okay. We'll make a save. We'll make a save. Main menu. Oh, that was a great chapter. Oh my god. That's so good. Why is Ken so cool? Best boy. Did nothing wrong. Oh. Oh man. Okay, so I heard that the next update's going to be Gabriel, which is exciting because I do also like Gabriel. I love all three of these boys. They're great. They're absolutely amazing. I'm curious about Hero only because I think nothing of him. Even from the prologue of the game, I was kind of like, you seem kind of the most boring of these four, and just did not think much of him. So I'm hoping he proves me wrong, because I also kind of thought nothing of Mark until like we got into his day. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm surprised we're not going to do Hero next. It's an odd order we're doing these in, because what, Mark has 3 like chapters out, Gabe will have 2, and Ken has 1. So yeah, I'm curious how things will go. I'll see you around, everyone, though. Bye.